Deseret News Rewind is presented by Heidemann and Associates, a full-service law firm dedicated to winning for you. Call them now for a free consultation. Welcome in Deseret News Rewind. Dusty Litster, Dane, Stewart, as always, presented by Heidemann and Associates and brought to you by the Utah Army National Guard.
That's right, Dusty. And for those of you who have any sort of legal need going on, maybe you need some sort of litigation, maybe some personal need around living will and trust, Heidemann Associates is a full-service law firm in locations throughout the state of Utah, up and down the Wasatch Front, down in St. George as well. Give them a call, 801-754-4240. They'll give you a free consultation, get you down the path. No better place to go than Heidemann Associates.
Absolutely. And also, if you're looking for that next step in your job, up to 150 job training opportunities through the Utah Army National Guard. It's more than military service. It's about bettering your life and taking care of your family. Not only this, up to $20,000 in signing bonuses, depending on the job opportunity that you want to get that on-job training with the National Guard. Go to nationalguard.com. All right, let's go into this, talk about the girls' basketball week. It continues to be very, very interesting. But first, opening statement, I mean, really, when we look at this, it is that, to me, the storyline, and some people can be mad, not like it, whatever. To me, it is the dominance of Fremont. Just continues to be on display.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually looking at their year this year, Dusty, and I think the closest game they have had was a 7 or 8 point win over Lone Peak, and the next closest was 14 against Syracuse. I mean, holy cow, this Fremont team, it's been a team that's really built on a mission. But, you know, when I think of this season, how about the parity? I mean, yeah, Fremont has been dominative in Region 1, but look at Region 3. I mean, we're just approaching or past the midway point. You got 3 teams at 3-1. Look at Region 4, very similar. Skyridge had a loss this week. We'll talk about that. But the parity in some of these regions we thought would be really good, has been really kind of fun and reinvigorating, and sets up for what will be a really fun second half of the region schedule and state tournament.
Well, that's what we're going to find out, if it's regions that make you look that good or what have you. But I think Fremont's just that good.
Yeah, they have been.
You get Fraser and Calvert. That makes it really hard.
They grow 6'4" on trees up there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because another one's a 6'4". So let's talk a little bit more outside of Fremont in Region 1. Syracuse and Davis. Syracuse seemed to be really, really good, 7-1 in region play.
Yeah, we mentioned Syracuse lost last week to Fremont, their only loss in region play. It was a competitive game for Syracuse in that one. Had the win over Davis a couple of weeks ago. That game is setting up Syracuse-Fremont, that rematch coming weeks. How about an overtime thriller, Dusty? The Leighton Lancers got off to a hot start in Region 1. They've kind of, had a couple of losses. They've been playing some of those top teams. Clearfield, the Falcons gave them everything they wanted. Leighton in the end got the victory, 52-50 in overtime. Haley Cuppett, we had a chance to see her a week ago. This young girl, she can score from anywhere on the floor. She had 23 points, including 3 threes, 8 rebounds in the win for the Leighton Lancers. Looking to get back on the winning side of things.
Region 2. We talk about teams that are all parity. How about Hunter, Granger, Taylorsville, all 3-1 at the top of Region 2?
Yeah, they've all beat each other, right? So Granger beat Taylorsville in the last week. Caitlin Olson had 23 in that win. How about Taylorsville with a big win over Hunter last night to give them their first win, or the first loss in region play, the Hunter Wolverines. That was 56-54. It was a 22-11 first quarter to help create the separation for Taylorsville. Hunter came back, couldn't quite get there in the end. Callie DeYoung had 20 points, 6 threes in the win for the Warriors to have the multi-way tie in Region 2.
3-way at the top. Hey, speaking of 3-way at the top, Harriman, as you mentioned earlier, Harriman, Bingham, and Copper Hills, all 3-1 at the top of Region 3.
Yeah, Bingham with a nice win this week over Riverton, and that's a really good Riverton team. We saw
them earlier,
Right. And, they were down 20-11 after the first quarter. Riverton came out playing really well. Bingham able to come back, used a 23-15 fourth quarter in that one. J.C. Lichty had 19, Angelau with 17. Bingham Miners as a team had a little disappointing loss in the last week and a half or so, getting back on the winning side, and again, another multi-team tie top of the region.
It's fitting that we're here at Bountiful High School. We're going to talk about Lone Peak girls basketball. Yeah. I still call it, and I know I've never known her as this, but it's the banner. Nancy Celius, who was Miss Basketball while she played here at Bountiful. Been an outstanding head coach at Lone Peak for a long time. This program kind of just taking time to get going. 4-0 in region play. Yeah,
what a start for Lone Peak. Now, that being said, this is all on the line Tuesday night. They get Skyridge. But let's talk this last week for Lone Peak. Hey, they beat AF. They beat PG. Wolstein, Leroy, Easton all had nice games in those victories for Lone Peak. But how about maybe the game of the night in the classification Friday night? Pleasant Grove over Skyridge. I did not see that coming out. PG been really good. We've talked about them. Agungatau. I'm going to mess this name up. Osgothorpe, maybe?
Yeah, Osgothorpe. Yeah.
Osgothorpe, okay. Hancock, I mean, they've got players, but I just thought Skyridge, the offensive arsenal that they have, would be able to win that one. Blackham had 18 in the loss, 45-43. PG with a big win, handing Skyridge their first region loss, and that sets up that ever-critical game Tuesday night. Skyridge, Lone Peak, really big game.
It'd be a good one, and Coach Nancy's going to be wearing stilettos. Those
right?
Nights. Usually, she's the only one I've seen. Not going to let coaching take away the fashion.
It helps the sound carry better, right?
And it's not a knock. I'm just impressed.
Yeah.
Every freaking time. Yeah, you can't do the Quincy Lewis stomp. Try it, Coach. Maybe we'll be there to see that one. And featuring a future podcast, by the way.
Hey.
I think I know one that'll be coming up. Now, just a matter if he'll sit down with us. Coach Van Price, 501 wins as his Farmington Phoenix continue to roll along.
The all-time winningest coach in Utah high school girls basketball history. Coach, congratulations. And a lot of those wins coming at Layton, now at Farmington, and building a program. 501, man. And how about a big win this week, Viewmont? I mean, that was 501 to put him atop first place. Kunzler had 20 points in that one, hit 4 threes, 68-47. Farmington taking care of business. We thought this team was going to be really tough in Region 5, and they're living up to that. Also had a 33-31 win over Woods Cross earlier in the week.
Well, okay, so a couple weeks ago, Highland trips up and loses to Hillcrest, but they have bounced back since. And how about a squeaker last night? 41-39 win over Olympus.
You ready for this? Highland fans are going to love this, right? When I think of Highland, I think of defense, right? They held Alyssa Blank to just 6 points. That's the lowest output she's had all year. She's been in double figures in every game that she has played. Now, I don't know if something happened in that game, but she only scored 6. And Highland, they needed every defensive effort to limit her points because she is that good offensively. Longy had 16 in the win, 41-39. Highland remaining with just one loss in region. Skyline, the other one-loss team. Big matchup there as well coming up.
Well, how about that? How about close game? Skyline 7-1, top tied at the top there. Got a 40-37 win against Murray last night. And we saw Murray at Woods Cross.
Yeah.
Know this team has some opportunity in them.
Murray, 30 of the 37 points came from the Bay sisters. Goodness. Talented. How about this one? Skyline got a win over East last Friday. I don't remember if that was in before our show. Okay. Well, details. Vorwaller had 15, Njike had 15, Clark had 13, Lusgarden had 12 with 4 threes. The defending state champs defeated by Skyline. 2 region losses for East.
Region 7 continues to be the world of the Pioneers. The Lady Pioneers just continue to roll along. How about this point differential? 505 points to 248.
Unreal.
Every other team in the region has given up over 300 points.
Yeah, it's unreal what they're doing right now. And a dominative win over Mountain Ridge. Been a tough start for the first year Mountain Ridge this year. But, boy, Macy Warren, 24 points, 2 threes. Madison Warren, 22 points, 5 threes. We're going to get out and cover Lehigh. I just don't know if there's going to be a close game for the rest of the year.
Well, Timpview's the one playing
It's the
really,
one,
really well.
right? And that game would be at Timpview.
Yeah. Well, Timpview, how about this? Beat Mountain View 52-50.
Yeah. Good one.
And a good one. Coach Dorius, they're started out a little slow.
Yeah.
They had, you had Pope that had been so good for so many years.
Right.
And you got to find a way to move on without Ella Pope. And Coach Dorius found that mix. And right now in region play, 6-1. There's nothing to be ask for forgiveness over on that one.
We talk about the Warrens for Lehigh. They're really good scores. Well, Kinsley Barrington for Timpview, really good scorer, had 29 points in that win over Mountain View.
We talk about 3-way ties in the 6A side. How about Region 8?
Oh, man.
Springville, Maple Mountain, and Salem Hills all 6-1.
Yeah, this is just crazy, right? So Springville beats Salem Hills, and I don't know what that final score was because the box score didn't quite match up, but Springville won that game. Meanwhile, you have Maple Mountain defeating Springville. They used a 16-6 fourth quarter to come from behind to get that win. Liggett had 14, Dennison with 13 for Maple Mountain. Really fun up on the top of that region. Maple Mountain, Springville, Salem Hills. It's going to be fun to see the second go-arounds and see who can kind of get that separation for that region championship. But Region 8, man, right now it is really, really good. How about Salem Hills with a nice come-from-behind victory last night over Wasatch? They trailed 12-26 at the end of the first quarter. Got a 51-49 win over the Wasps. Vance went for 16-5.
Just a close week this week.
Right.
And we got some big games. Look at the Boysville. We're doing the same thing. The top 5 games we're looking forward to on the back. And let's go with yours first, and I'll do mine at the end.
All right, so for 6A, I got 5 of them, right? We've teased some of these. How about Syracuse at Fremont, right? Maybe the only region team that can maybe compete with Fremont, did the best, closest first time around. How about Taylorsville and Hunter? This was a close one. Taylorsville got the win Friday night. We talked about that game. Bingham at Harriman. this would be a really good one. Is Bingham trying to that's their only region loss is to Harriman, trying to get back on that one. Harriman at Riverton. Harriman trying to look for a little bit of revenge. And then PG Skyridge. Look, if you're Skyridge, you lose that game to PG, you're going to be chomping at the bit to get back, get that offense right, and have a shot to get back for a region title.
Got Dane's 5, brought to you by Heidemann and Associates. We'll get my 5 before we get done on this one. Well, let's talk about the other regions. I always like to go to Region 9 first. How about Cedar City sitting at the top of Region 9? And I mean, 62-25 win over Hurricane this week, 62-37 win over Snow Canyon.
How about another game in that region? Desert Hills over Pineview, 54-52, but it was a performance of Cameron Bliss, 29 points, 6 threes, as the Thunder get a nice region win.
Well, I saw the boys team last night. How about the Lady Soaring Eagle, 6-0 in region play, took care of, I mean, you got these good dominant girls teams.
Yeah.
Know it because I went to Carbon when you're that good. Beat Ben Lomond 65-21. Took care of Tooele 57-43 this week.
How about this one, Dusty? Ridgeline. We've talked about how good Ridgeline is this year.
Yeah.
Mountain Crest gave them a game. The Mustangs, that game was 33-27. The Mustangs in the lead after the third quarter. It was an 18-6 fourth for Ridgeline to come back and get that win. Jenks finished with 18 points, hit 5 threes. Anderson had 15. Ridgeline, a squeaker, but able to pull it out.
You know, I am a homer. I will always admit this, but I'll always give people their due. Richfield took out my Carbon Dinos this week, puts them tied to the top of the region. It was a good night for Passion Rights and also Sepulveda. I'm not even going there. I do Polynesian names, but I couldn't figure out the right one. I'm not going to get... No Brada is coming after me on this one. But Sepulveda had 17 points as Bianco and crew, Sacamano just couldn't quite get it done as Richfield took care of Carbon 62-56 and followed it up by beating Emory.
Well, I was going to say...
Thank goodness.
I was going to say, Dusty, it takes a big man to acknowledge, and I was going to help you out there with that win over Emory.
Hey, when you're riding Highway 10, if you're going to beat one of us, just take care of the other one.
How about this? They had a 22-8 third quarter to get back in it. Richfield was down. Ended up winning that game in overtime. Good one. How about a couple different places we go? Let's go with this one. Individual performance. Leighton Christian got a 79-33 win over Rockwell, but Patricia Ramirez, 40 points in the win for the Eagles, hit 4 threes in that game. Patricia with a big scoring night.
You know, there's times where we get things, we miss them. Maybe we talked about this last week. Grantsville got the big win last week against Judge Memorial, and all they did this week is just roll right along. Took care of Morgan 58-54. That's always a big game as Judge Memorial just continues to roll in the season. Maya Tarver, 23 points, 10 boards. Get this, 2 girls with double-doubles because Taya Sidbury is a walking double-double.
Yeah.
Taya had 20 points and 16 boards.
How about this one? This is a team that I don't know if we've talked about this year, Dusty, in either boys or girls. You ready for this? How about Altamont? It's been a strong start for Altamont this year. They had a 33-31 win over North Sevier, had a 13-7 fourth quarter. Gracie Gardner, a double-double, 10-10 in the win for the Longhorns.
You want dominant teams?
Yeah.
Manti. I'll talk about the boys team. How about this is the last few weeks. They have not allowed 30 points. They've not surrendered 30 points since January 3rd. January 3rd, they beat Union 40-37. Since then, give up 22, 22, 25, 21, and this week 23.
You know a young woman that we talked a lot about last year, but haven't talked about her much this year? How about Kennedy McQueen? North Summit, 75-23, a win over Monticello. And this is a team that's been winning games handily. Haven't had a lot of close ones, so we really haven't talked about them. McQueen had 25 in that game. Richens 14. Gracie Watterson went 12-12 in the win for the Cats.
Any other ones you want to make sure you mention?
I think I'm good.
We're good, too. If there's other ones we missed, hit us up on Twitter.
Yeah.
We'll always wear it when we get them. We miss them. But, all right, my top 5 for the remaining of the year.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, I'm going recency bias. Skyridge, Lone Peak. Cannot wait to see what Lone Peak, I don't want to say, a measuring stick game to see if Lone Peak is as good as we think they are because we thought Skyridge is pretty doggone good, and I think they are. Lost that tough one to Pleasant Grove. And then you give me a Region 8 game. I mean, Springville, Maple Mountain.
Pick, right?
Yeah, Springville, Maple Mountain. That's always a great matchup. I'm excited for that one. I'm going to go Lehigh Timpview. Want to find out how good Coach Doris, if they really turn the corner because Lehigh is just that good. They got them twice. And then Highland, You take your pick. But I'll go Highland Skyline because they're at the top.
Yeah. Highland East as
Highland
well.
East.
I mean,
right.
really.
The Battle of 13th
It's
East.
the same way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all the top of that Region 6, good ones.
And then the one that I'm probably, I know you went Bingham Harriman.
Yeah.
Harriman at Riverton. Because I
Okay.
think that could be the difference of Harriman winning a region championship.
Might be.
Because however yours goes, mine has to follow. And if it doesn't go well. So I'll put that one on. And we were at the first ones. What are the 5 games you're most excited for? Hit us up on Twitter. It's brought to you by Heidemann and Associates. For Vince Francis and Dane Stewart, I'm Dusty Litster. Thanks for joining us watching Deseret News Rewind on Deseret.com.